Discontinued
Gravy.
gravy.
Even your
Discontinued gravy.
Goal: to simplify life and make it fun.
Because we've been there.
I mean, we were in our mid-20s.
So we've seen it all.
This is
Discontinued.
gravy.
Nick, why did you say it like that?
What do you mean?
Like you meant, like the way you said, we are in our 20s.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. That just came out of my mouth.
And then just so firm, one word answers.
I just kind of, I don't know what happened with that one. It sounded funny to me. I was too lazy to stop and do it again, so I just ran with it. And then what came into my head was the one word answers.
Wow, it's something in the air today, hey?
It's been an odd day, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's been an odd week. We say that a lot, don't we?
Every week on Discontinued Gravy is an odd week.
Yeah. And Nick and Krysta never leave the house, but always an odd week.
Honestly, it's actually like so damn accurate.
Actually, though.
Yeah. How are you, Krysta?
I'm doing okay. I mean, it's been hard. I don't have my car.
Oh yeah, that's
Still,
the thing.
I'm supposed to get a rental car allowance soon. I don't know when, and I don't know how long my car will be getting fixed for. There's been cars sitting in the shop for the same part since April.
Oh.
So.
Oh gosh.
So we will see.
Oh no.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm done with the car stuff. What about you, Nick? What's up?
No, not much. You know, nothing really that new. Just typical depot stuff. You know, I was trying to be proactive today because there's some fancy stuff going down next week, and I'll tell you how that goes on next week's Discontinued Gravy.
You're not even gonna give us a little taste?
There's a really big boss coming.
Oh, okay, big boss coming to town.
We're gonna see how interesting that goes. I've never met this one before. It's gonna be fun. But
I like how Nick has to try out the big bosses.
Hey man, there's gonna be a win or loss with this one. There's no turning back once I go in on this one. Anyway, but a lot of stuff's changing over because Christmas is upon us, everybody. So it's not like we're getting.
Excuse me? What?
Look.
Nick, it's October. It's the first week of October.
You'd be surprised. People have already been asking me where our Christmas lights are and where our trees are. So,
damn.
Yeah, you tell me. But while I'm not a fan, we just have to get the shelving ready. We don't have the stuff yet. We just got to get the shelving ready. But to do that, I need to take a lot of shit down. Anyway, what were you going to say? Just to get it out?
I just need to get it out. I think it's because people are afraid because the media is saying that things are going to be sold out this year. It's going to be a hard year.
Yeah, we ran out of lights about 2 weeks when we got them. We ran out like mid-November.
Oh, last year.
Yeah. So who knows what this year happens. But anyway, so I was like, oh, okay. So I got to, clear the up stock, because that's where we put the, displays and stuff. So I was like, oh, I'll get working on that. Great idea, right? Be proactive so next week's easier for me. So I'm like, hey, manager. He's like, yeah. I'm like, can I do this? Where can I put all this stuff? There's a lot of stuff. I don't know where to put it. He's like, well, we got to walk next week. I'm like, yeah. It's like, I don't want to put it anywhere. I'm like, oh. It's like, can you do it after the walk? I'm like, oh.
Oh.
Yeah. So what turned into like a week and a half to do this, I now have 4 days to do all this stuff.
But it's not your fault. You tried to do it beforehand.
No, it has nothing to do with my fault. But it was like, like those one times you try to be actually proactive and actually do some work, and then you get shut down. You're like, oh, well, that was a waste of time.
I hate when that happens. That happened to someone at one of my old jobs. They were trying to be proactive. It was like we were the new managers there, and they wanted to get some keys made. They were like,
nice.
oh, like, I'm going to help you guys out, and I'm going to collect all the keys and figure out where they go and label them and put them all together on, like, one key ring, and then we can get them remade.
Perfect.
Got shut down straight away.
Why?
By someone else because that's not their job.
Oh. Now, like, that's stupid.
Yeah, that's harsh.
Like,
you know.
like, I totally understand the reasoning. You know, we don't want cluttered. Big guy coming. I understand. Let's just leave it up there. It's not that it can't be dealt with.
Christmas decor can be quite messy too.
We can do this. It's not like it's an issue. It's just, you know, like the moment you try to do something and then it's like, oh, damn. Well, goes to see if I'll ever do it again. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, that's what I get for trying.
Well, that's what I get. Hey, just quit. It's like trying, but easier.
Okay, that's a little extreme.
That was like one of my favorite lines.
I don't know. It's funny that you say that though, Nick, because I do think it's smart to keep your options open for jobs.
Sure.
Not as soon as you get shut down on something to be like, I quit, I'm out. You know, you can't do that with every job when something doesn't go your way.
No, for sure. We don't want to do that at all.
Yeah, because you know what, you gotta learn from things. You gotta grow as a person in a workplace.
No, yeah, totally. Yeah, you gotta build your way up.
Mm-hmm. But I'm the type of person that recently, in the past year or two, I've always kind of just kept my eye open looking for something. Yeah. And I'm not sure if it's more because we're at the time in our lives where we're looking for careers and more opportunities sometimes. Totally. And I like to think that when I'm in a place, I have my 2 feet planted and I'm 100% in. Which I am.
Yeah, well, I think you can be both. Like as soon as you get hired for a job, honestly, you should probably start looking for your next one. Like,
yeah, or at least know what your next plan is. You know, like, when employers ask what your next 5-year plan is?
Yeah, never say not with the company because you're never going to get hired that way. But
have you done that?
Well, I did once.
Nick.
But like,
you didn't want the job anyways?
I thought it was a reasonable answer. And I was on good terms with this person, so like it didn't matter. It didn't matter at the end of the day, and we'll get into this in a moment. But no, just like always say you're gonna be there for 5 years. But in hindsight, maybe not the case. You got to leave your doors open. Like you can absolutely commit to a company and still look around. You know what I mean? It's not like a relationship where you're locked down. Like a job, like unless they've made it amazing. They could fire you at any moment. They could lay you off at any moment, right? Like they could cut you as quickly as you could quit, right? Like goes both ways.
Yeah, that was one of the most helpful things I learned when I left my last job was that because I was quite upset and it was a hard decision for me to do because I really liked the company I worked for, but their opportunity just wasn't. Events were gone.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah.
And the CEO of the company mentioned, he's like, you're a great employee, but this is one thing that someone told me, and it was hard to hear, but it really does help. At the end of the day, you can be replaced.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And like, oh, ouch, kind of hurts coming from the CEO. But he said that he got told that too. It puts everything in perspective.
Well, yeah, that what he's saying is never about the person you're saying it to. But
yes.
In any way, like, look, anybody can be replaced anywhere. There are certain values and stuff that you can't replace. Like, for example, I've always said, like, oh, yeah, Home Depot could replace me, no problem. No friggin' problem. But they might have a hard time finding somebody as, say, personable as I am. I'm pretty well connected within the entire store of people.
Yeah,
like, I'm on good terms.
The same values as you do.
Right. Like, I'm on good terms with everybody. You know, I'm not saying, like, I mean, I do multiple departments, but again, that could be taught, no problem. I'm just saying, like, there are some things that you can't teach and can't replace. Not that that matters. Not that me being connected to the whole store and knowing everybody really matters in the grand scheme of things in regards to Home Depot. But I think it's a value for a store, and I think somebody that a manager, myself, if I was a manager, that's something I would look for. Somebody who is able to connect with everybody. Because it's a lot harder to deal with somebody who doesn't like anybody and somebody who likes everybody.
And who's disconnected.
Yeah. So, like, while you can be replaced, no problem, easy peasy. You're going to be replaced every single time. It's not like, they're going to just eliminate the job entirely, which they might, which almost feels worse.
I mean, if they really didn't need you, yeah.
It almost feels worse when they just eliminate the job rather than finding you a replacement. But,
oh my God, that's brutal.
But you know what I mean? Like they're going to replace you, and you know what? You're better for that anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I know no one at my current job listens to this podcast. No one. There's no type of socialness or work, like work social.
Yeah, no, totally.
Type atmosphere. Because of COVID, most of us work very separated. I joined during COVID, so I didn't have these previous established relationships. Yep. I think the only people that know that I'm engaged are my boss and my manager, because I was super excited and told them. And then one other girl, because I told the story earlier, she walked into the laboratory and I was all by myself, and it was a week and a half later, and I was like, I've been dying to tell someone. But they have no idea that this podcast is even going on. So I feel like I can talk a bit more about looking for jobs in that atmosphere, because I don't think they're going to get offended.
Well, they shouldn't. I mean, like, you can always look for a job. Look, unless you have your absolute dream job, nobody is not looking for a job. You know what I mean? Like, even the frickin', district manager of Home Depot, or, like, even a broadcaster, it may not be the dream job. They're always looking for that next step. Like, and a lot of companies encourage it. Especially if you're building within the company. They're absolutely, they're always saying, check the career page, page. Like, obviously, they don't want to necessarily tell you to leave, but if it's within the company, they'll absolutely want to look at you.
Yeah, I mean, for radio specifically,
oh, God.
Very aware of station flips and people going from one time to another, or even to just a different station.
Zero loyalty in radio.
There's zero loyalty, and I don't blame them, because it's a cutthroat industry, right?
It is.
Like, a lot of people, once they get the position that they want, whether it's morning or afternoon drive, they're gonna hold on to that.
They're gonna try for as long as they can, but it doesn't matter. Like radio is a completely different animal, frankly. Like, look, I can say all I want. I've never worked in a radio station to the point where I can get laid off. I know a bunch of people that have been laid off, and they've only been in this thing for 2-3 years. Radio's a different animal. There's nothing. They don't care. It doesn't matter. You're just a number to them, and that, whatever, you accept that. That's what's going to happen.
And I mean, you're just a number to them. That's a harsh term, but I think it applies to a lot of different corporations, which is sad. It shouldn't be you're just a number to them.
No. But, if you're a company that has 100,000 associates, how can you keep track of that? The only people that can fight for you are the people in said station, said store. The CEO says screw them. What's the manager gonna do? Gonna fight for you? No.
But I think the problem with that too is that the company's values don't necessarily align with what they're telling people.
No, of course not. Like, they never do.
It doesn't line up.
They never do. They do for a period until you get let go. Like, they do until you're not there anymore.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Anyways, the reason that I'm bringing any of this up is because myself, Krysta Vanderhelm, had an interview for the first time in over a year.
Wow. Wow.
And it was weird.
Why?
I just feel like interviews are different now. I feel like they're a bit more disconnected. You are doing it all virtually. You're not going in person. You're not getting all excited to be like, ooh, I'm going to wear a cute outfit.
Yeah, you just kind of throw on a shirt, look nice, but, you're in your underwear.
Yeah, exactly.
Camera, you know what I mean? Like,
chest down doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty great.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it was a good interview, great company. Not for profit. They had very similar values to a job that I've worked previously.
Nice.
So very interesting. I don't think it will work out. I'm not sure if they're even interested in me, but
I don't know.
it was just a good experience to go do. I always think it's a good experience to put yourself out there and take that interview because you don't know what's going to happen. They may not even offer you the job. So what does it hurt? You don't have to make any decision until that offer is actually on the table.
That is one thing that was probably going to come at some point, but just to get it out of the way right now, no point in thinking about anything until you get the call, because you can think about all you want. Do I really want this job? Are the days going to work for me? Who cares? You don't have the job yet.
Right? I remember when like the job search first started, when you get out of university or whatever, and you kind of start off being picky, right? You're like, oh, that doesn't really sound like somewhere I could like fit in, or
Totally.
or how does that, like, can I see myself there?
Been
What, like you said, the hours.
Yep, absolutely been there.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
You don't have the job. They probably don't even want you.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, but the thing with job postings that I think a lot of people forget is they're coming up with a person that they don't even know exists yet, right? Or can fit those qualities, right? They're building this position or person that they think might fit.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to have every single quality they list. Sometimes they'll say 5 years experience. Doesn't necessarily mean you need 5 years experience. You can have 3 years, but you learned a lot in that 3 years.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. The listing doesn't always, listings generally like the ideal candidate, but very rarely does that ideal candidate ever apply.
Exactly. The timing on that would have to be perfect.
You can get in, as you say, you need 5 years experience, but you got 3 years experience, but you got one of those things that said would be a strong asset, right? Like, not necessary, but you speak French. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that could be handy. But
okay, side note, I know you're going to go off on a tangent, so I'm just going to get my tangent in first.
Feel free.
I wish I learned French, like with Put in French immersion or something, because how helpful would that be? There's so many jobs out there that are in broadcasting or in PR and writing that's like, speaking French is a strong asset. It's like, well, I wish. There's
this broadcasting job that I easily could have gotten. Like, it wasn't, honestly, like, I shouldn't have gone for it. Like, it's not enough money to, do anything. But, it was in Quebec. And I was like, they're like, it is English language broadcast, but to live in the city of Montreal, you should be able to speak French, which is something I cannot do very well at all.
Est-ce que je peux aller aux toilettes?
Où est la pizza?
Ah.
Where is the pizza? That's what I got.
I said, I don't even know. Where's the bathroom?
That's a handy one to know. But no, it's one of those things, right? Like, it helps on a resume. It does.
It does. And I mean, I think people forget that sometimes you can take a job just to also build your resume, right? You can take that job that's the in-between of what you want to do.
Yeah, just put it on the resume, as they say. It's good on the resume.
Some people say it's easier to get a job once you have one. Like, that saying goes around all the time. And I think it's because there's less pressure on getting the job.
Sure. Yeah.
Because where I'm at now, like, I'm happy, right?
Yep.
But I have had conversations within the company of what is next.
Well, totally.
Right? And honestly, that conversation doesn't look like there's going to be anything for a few months. And where I am in my life, I don't know if I can wait a few months.
Yeah, it's true.
Right?
Like, can you wait that long? It's a really tough line.
Yeah, it's a really tough line, and especially coming out of a pandemic where I felt like so much was put on hold for such a long time. I just want to start doing things.
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of a nice thing, like, especially if you're in a spot where, it kind of allows you to do things like, travel or kind of have a work-life balance. It's really handy coming out of a pandemic, when you're like, oh, I want to go here, but, it's in April per se, a couple months from now, it's like, you know what? I could stay at this job for that long just to, be able to do that. And then maybe after that, look at it. So there's pros and cons, really, to keeping your job in that sense.
Yeah. I don't know. But I mean, the one thing I think we can all agree on that we hate about for job hunting or looking at jobs, because it's fun. It's fun to look. I get the notifications on my email. I always do. Who turns those off?
Yeah,
First
I know,
of
right?
all.
Yeah.
So everyone's always getting those notifications.
Yeah.
But writing a cover letter.
You know what? Yeah, I definitely have opinions on that. I hate it. I think it's the dumbest thing on the planet.
Okay, Nick, tell us how you really feel.
Well, what are you doing? What's on your resume? Your work history? Kind of about you, right?
Mm-hmm.
The hell's a cover letter? What you did? Like, what's the difference here?
Right? It's one of those things like, why don't you ask me?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, if you're going to get the interview, like, you're going to have everything you already are going to ask in the cover letter. I just don't get what the cover letter is just the paragraph form of your work history. Like, what is this?
And also, it's a little too flashy. In my opinion,
it's
everyone's going to
thing.
blow up what they did a little bit.
Well, it's that, but also just like you're just making it sound way better than it is. Like, I don't say what we did at Bell Media. It's not I make it sound a lot more glamorous than it actually was.
Actually, Nick, we should like both go over what we say we did there. I know you did like more than me, but during that time that we were both there and the things I did do that were similar to you, I want to go over to see if we can embellish.
We can do that. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I think what I wrote is pretty good, but I remember, everyone, you go on LinkedIn and you're like, oh, what did they write? If you had the same job as them, you want to see what they wrote. And I remember that we worked with someone at Bell, and I looked at what they wrote, and I was like, damn, we did all that. It was like one of those moments. It was just like, I guess it's okay to embellish because, you did do that in some capacity. Yeah, you maybe didn't do it single-handedly, but is that company asking you to single-handedly do that thing?
No, exactly. It's all you pump the tires a bit. Like what's the difference? And probably not like unless it's like a life or death situation, like if you said, oh yeah, I know CPR when you don't actually know CPR, well, that's an issue. But if you're saying you know how to use Microsoft Excel, you've used it, but you don't know necessarily how to use Excel.
Yeah, I don't know the formulas, I'm going to be honest.
It's relatively easy to learn. Not that I've learned it. My mom's a wizard at it, but like it's something that you could say you do. Take the time to learn it. It's not hard to learn. Like, I know this for a fact. I just haven't put in the time to actually learn it because I haven't needed to.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a lot of times when you're looking at things, it's like, okay, maybe I don't have that, but could I do it?
Yeah. Oh,
right?
100%.
Look at your own abilities.
Yep.
Believe in yourself. Look at that future you that you're like, yo, I want to be that badass in, I don't know, 10 years.
Yeah.
And I want to live up to that future self. What did she do? Mm-hmm. Or what did he do?
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I mean, you having an earthquake over there?
I don't know.
I love it. But anyway.
Guys, I'm sorry for this because it's not Spencer.
It's an earthquake.
This is a laneway house, and the garage is on the other side, and I think they're like drilling into there or something.
At 9:48 on a Thursday?
I couldn't tell you. There's been odder times.
I love it. But anyway, yeah, cover letters are absolutely atrocious. Now, where do you land on the opinion of cover letters? Should they be formal or more like you?
Ooh, okay. See, I'm right in the middle because I went to a liberal university where it was okay to show some personality.
Yeah.
But anyone who's ever taught you to write a cover letter or a resume or has told you to read one, it's always formal.
Yep.
It's always, I don't know how to explain formalness, but it's long format. It doesn't have a lot of sparkle to it.
No, periods.
Do you really get to read anything about the personality in there? You kind of just, okay, that's what they did, but that doesn't sound like me.
Well, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. It doesn't sound like you.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the thing that I had with it. It's like, I'm writing this cover letter, and my dad, he's a technical writer. He's pretty good at this stuff. I have him look it over, no problem. But he makes it formal, the way it should be written.
My mom has done that to me.
Right, like it's not that he's wrong, and it's not that any of these things are wrong, but I just don't know if it's necessary. It's 2021. Like, is that necessarily the way to go anymore? Like, you're writing. It's like, hey, it's Nick. I worked at this company and really enjoyed it because of my sports background. Period.
And then ABC.
Like it sounds like you honestly just stole a cover letter off online, inserted your name. Like,
you could do that.
You could, and no one would care. But like, when you get something with I don't know, when you personalize it, like, would it be a little weird for you to, read like, hello, my name is Nick, and I enjoy doing these things, and then for me to walk up and be like, hey, yo, what's up, man? How you doing? I'm excited for this opportunity. Like,
have you actually gone into an interview and say, yo, what's up?
I mean, maybe, honestly. Maybe not like in that sense. Probably like, oh, hey, how's it going?
I could see you doing that in one interview because I know what interview that was and the type of people you were talking to.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
But otherwise, I get what you mean, though, to go in and being, like Nick, who's a happy-go-lucky guy who can, like, brighten up a room. How do you get that across on paper?
Well, see, I just think it's like a little switch. Instead of saying hello, you say, hey. I'm not saying hello to somebody. I'm going like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, that's Nick.
That's what I've said on interviews. They're like, oh, hey, how are you? I'm like, oh, hey, I'm not bad. How you doing? How's it going? Like, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to sound formal for an interview. If you want to hire me, you got to hire me. Mm-hmm. So what is the point of me writing a formal cover letter when I can make it sound like me, but also be professional? You can do it's possible. I did it not too long ago.
Nick did it. He's living proof. Like
for real. Look, I'll take from the last interview I had. It was an interview that was more like it was a real happenstance occurrence. Basically what happened is my friend went to get glasses, and I made the remark of saying, on your face or in your case.
Oh, Nick.
The person had never heard this before, like the person at the glasses store. She's like, oh my God, that's amazing. I'm like, I think it's from Arthur or whatever, Recess or something like that. And they're like, oh my God. So we started talking about, old shows, Canadian history. Like, we got into it. Like, we started talking, and she's like, we're hiring. You should totally apply. For lols, I did.
Boom, bam, baby.
But, they said, you fill it out online, and, part of me was like, because, like, I'm applying for lols. I don't really want the job. I don't really care. Like, I'm not going to take it either way. Unless, they offered, like, an obscene amount of money.
They're like, Nick, you're going to make enough to own this store. You're going to be like, yeah.
Like, exactly. Like, it would have had to take, like, an obscene amount of money. But I knew I wasn't going to get that. So, like, they're saying, insert your, resume and cover letter. And I was like, do I really need a cover letter? Like, do I really, really need one? And then, so I was, I asked my friend, and I was like, should I? She's like, you should. I'm like, she's like, I get where you're coming from, but you should anyway. So I literally typed this shit on Microsoft Word on my phone. I just typed it out, typed it the way I should be, kind of explain like, oh, like, I think glasses are a huge part of fashion. Like, I think I look better in glasses, and I think glasses can change an entire face. I kind of went into like I kind of like fashion. I think this is a real fashion statement. There's not a lot of differences in glasses wear. Like, it's all the same kind of shit. So I was like, why not? So,
and Nick got the interview.
And yeah. And you know what? You know what she said when we started the interview, you had a cover letter. That really set you apart.
Hey, that's awesome.
So, in conclusion, write your cover letters, but make it personal, because I think it makes it more interesting. Also, by the way, just to clarify, that person that I said that thing to at the store who was interested in what I said happened to be the store manager. So you never know who you're talking to.
That is true. That is true. I mean, getting jobs is networking anyways at the end of the day.
100%.
But, Nick, okay, so for cover letters,
Yep.
I think we can all agree that you have kind of like a template and you change a paragraph or a couple sentences depending on the job.
Totally.
Because if you're applying to several, you're not going to go into in depth. But I do think that this could solve your problems, Nick.
What's that?
Of cover letters.
Okay.
And the only reason I'm saying it is because I'm going to work on it this weekend.
Okay.
And submit it this weekend.
Ooh.
So hopefully no one steals what I want to do. But I'm going to do a video cover letter.
Oh, neat.
Right?
Neat.
Like, sit down. Hey, I'm Krysta. Nice to meet you. Or virtually meet you. This is my cover letter. Thought it'd be better to go over things a little bit more in person.
Yeah.
And literally read what you would have written.
Yep.
Or exactly, nickify it. But you could also do that with a podcast or like voice recording. How cool would that be?
You know what was actually funny?
What?
Just a side note. So you can add things to that. They're like, add your website or your blog. And I'm like, So I added my YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's awesome. Why not?
And she's like, why not? I didn't watch any of it yet, but I was kind of surprised. I'm like, you know what? Honestly, you said put like your website or blog. I was like, technically that's my blog. Here, just have the real me, man. Just look at my YouTube. Like it was a talking point. You know what I mean? Like it was, it's a good idea. And I think a video cover letter, especially for someone like me, it would be way better. Like I'm a way better talker than I am a writer.
Oh yeah, you put people at ease straight away.
So like, yeah, and absolutely, like a video cover letter would make absolute sense.
Yeah, but I think you would only do that for the jobs that kind of it works a bit more for. Like you're not going to do it for a business job, maybe a sales job.
Yeah, but you're not like you're going to be a...
Yeah, like an accounting or lawyer job. I couldn't really see that working. But for the jobs that like Nick or myself would be going for and that we would really want, why not? But I understand you're not going to spend that time editing and fixing for each specific job. So this is why I'm saying for like a job that you look at and you're like, ooh, like I could do that. You know, like you get kind of excited about. And you know what? That's almost the best part about applying for jobs. So that little glimpse of hope that you have within yourself. That you go, I could do that. That moment of belief. Pretty awesome, because honestly, I feel like a lot of people, as long as you're not like a douchebag Chad who's like, I'm awesome, sorry if your name is Chad and you're listening. It was just the first name that popped in my head for a bigger, stronger, kind of louder man.
It's a meme, right? You really chatted that up.
Yeah, exactly. So unless you're someone like that, I feel like a lot of people don't give themselves credit where credit's due. So when you look at something and you get so excited being like, I could do that, that's a great moment. And I feel like it's a bit of an ego boost. Yeah, it does suck when you don't get the interview.
Yeah.
Or you get the interview and you don't get the job. But hey, you did it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Like, I think a lot of times we all underestimate ourselves. Like you look at what's required and you're like, oh, but you know, there's a point of just shooting your shot. And, you know, having something like a video cover letter could set you apart. You know, like they're putting a face to the name. You know what I mean? Like,
which, I mean, for some jobs also wouldn't work, like a government job, because...
Yeah, they don't care.
Because you shouldn't even put your photo on a thing like that, because it actually goes against, like, their diversity policies. So,
totally, and
so,
that
like,
I get.
That wouldn't work.
that I get, like diversity-wise, like, you know, obviously that could be an issue, you know, but in some jobs, a video cover letter is totally normal.
Yeah, anything to do with broadcasting, marketing, media, anything like that, I think could be really
setting yourself
neat.
apart. And even if you did like a video resume, theoretically, you could.
I mean, a lot of people have done websites that are resumes in a way, because it's like, here's my work.
Yeah, well, they're TikTok resumes now.
What?
That's a thing. Oh yeah, apparently that's a real big thing now.
Oh, Nick, we need to get on TikTok.
We honestly, this podcast needs to get on TikTok, like now. Honestly.
Honestly, though, we said it like episode 8 or 10, and
I think the official TikTok episode was 15.
Oh wow.
With McKenna.
I mean, either way, we have blown way past it.
Yeah, we failed on that one, but we'll get on it soon enough. But
oh yeah, make promises we can't keep, Nick. Like it. Good for you.
That's how we do it. But no, just cover letters are good and important, and not, I don't think really that important, but
but
they can set you apart like it did for me.
Yeah, exactly. I think it is an opportunity, and if you are able to do something like Nick did, or what I'm suggesting, do it. See what happens, and you know what? If it didn't work, hopefully that doesn't devastate you too much.
Well, I think what helps is, what's the worst they can say? No, you don't get a call, whatever, you move on. It's not
right. You already didn't have it.
like, unless it's the absolute dream job, but how often does that come around?
And then even then, if it's your absolute dream job, at least you were doing what you thought was best for it.
Exactly.
And you were presenting yourself authentically.
You
I
tried.
think that's the one thing that drives me crazy about all this, is that it's not your authentic self, like you're saying, Nick. It's too professional and laid out. And yeah, I get it. The business world is full of working professionals.
Yeah. I think it's changing.
But millennials are filling up the workforce, so get ready.
Well, exactly. Like, I just think over the time, things change. Like, my mom, she doesn't like beards. And, she was always like, well, if you ever get on TV, you're going to have to shave your beard. Not necessarily anymore.
No,
Beards
you can have a tattoo.
Yep. Beards, tattoos, they're 100% in style right now. Like, it's not, short hair and clean shaven and this perfect looking person anymore. It's becoming more real. Like, why are we faking who we are? Like, that's what I do, like, you fake it till you make it, but at least you're doing it who you are.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Nick, for you personally, I could imagine how much work that would be, having to shave like twice a day, because I know how fast your beard grows.
Well, I can't say I've clean shaven since like 2013, so it's been a while.
Yeah, like, you've gone short. You've gone really short.
I've trimmed it, sure, but I've never actually shaved it.
Oh my god, are you going to do that for November?
Oh god, no.
Why? Nick, you would do so well at that.
If anything, I do November beard.
Ah, yes.
Which isn't
I
a
mean,
thing.
you could still do that.
Yeah.
But,
it's not
but
a
you
thing,
would need to, like, groom it.
I just think mustaches are... Frankly, I think they're ugly. I'm telling you right now.
I mean, it's not
Mustaches
like my
are
fiance has one or anything. Thanks, Nick.
Actually, I will admit, Spencer actually does kind of pull it off.
I mean, he doesn't just have a mustache, though. He has, like...
No, he makes it work, but I just think, I don't know, they make you look like, if he shaved that, he'd look a lot younger than he would be. Like, I think the mustache fits his age range really well.
Yes, but at like 35, it might be
adds
creepy.
a little panache. But I just think overall, like, a lot of them are just like, why did you do that to yourself? Like, I never understood it. Like, it's just like, the upkeep for it alone just seems like so much work.
Yeah. One year for a Halloween costume, Spence and I did Princess Peach and Mario. He took my mascara and just went ham on it. And I was like, thanks, not using that mascara again. The mustache looked grody. And this is like when we were 19, so it's not nearly as nice of a mustache as it is now.
Oh, God, no. Ew, you didn't put a fake one on? God.
No, he went for it. But I mean, the costume turned out pretty well, except for my fractured arm.
That doesn't sound good at all. Not good. Anyway,
I'll find the photos.
Please send it to me. Anyway, jobs, interviews. They're
Right.
fun.
I don't know. I think they can be fun. It's funny though. I'll just mention this story. My sister put a friend's name forward at her work because she was looking for a job. It wasn't like the job she wanted, but she was kind of looking, and
It's a job.
it fit. And they weren't looking for like a very long-term person. Like it's like about 3 months. So it's like, okay, like if you're not looking for anything too much of a commitment, it's almost perfect.
Yep.
So she gets so excited. So she gets excited for the interview. She hasn't had one for a while. She's like messaging us, what should I wear to the interview? Like Snapchatting the outfits, like, getting all fun and excited. Gets to the interview. Last minute, my sister is the one interviewing her.
That is so funny.
Like my sister didn't know that was gonna happen. The manager that was supposed to do the interview got called away in an urgent meeting that they had to go do, and they're like, "Can you please do it?" And it's like, yeah, but like she's gonna get the job then.
Yeah, right. Like, take the wins when you can. No matter how greasy it is, take it.
Right? I just think it's funny because it's one of those situations you truly do not know who you're being interviewed by.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you can look it up, but it can always change.
Yeah, for a long time I actually thought like early on in my working career, I thought like my interviews were like not the best point. But now I'm so confident in my interviews that like if jobs would just give me an interview, my shot goes way better. Mm-hmm. Like you will see I will make a better like the way my resume is not exactly that long. I haven't had that many jobs, but if you actually talk to me, like I can win the job. Like I personally think that the interview would separate me.
I mean, there used to be an old saying when we would hire people at my old job. It was either you're talking yourself into a job or you're talking yourself out of a job. And I feel like you're the type of person that you would talk yourself into a job.
I think I can.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's awesome. And you're right. But I think it does take practice a bit, right? You got to get used to those type of questions. You got to get rid of your marble mouth.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, broadcasting school kind of helped me with that. But, like it's easy for me now. It's easy for me to meet people. You know what I mean? Like I had 2 interviews with that last job, and the first one, obviously I knew who it was. But the second one, it was another store manager from another store. And I was like, could that be awkward? Sure. Nah, dude was a great guy. Like it was easy. You know what I mean? Like I can do it. Like just put me up against somebody. Like just give me a shot. That's honestly what I'm saying. Like shots aren't given often enough. Mm-hmm. And it's not just me. Like there's a lot of people I feel like just deserve a shot to at least get a chance.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, Nick, if you do a verbal cover letter and submit them an audio file, you can say that. Just give me a shot.
Just give me a
I
damn
feel like
chance.
That would be epic.
It could be. Could be a win.
I feel like, because like if I would hear that, I'd be like, damn, I will give him a shot.
Yeah. Confidence, baby. That's what you got to show.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, that's the most important thing when thinking about interviews is just having the confidence in yourself and your abilities.
Yep. Just know what you're talking about. Know your own history, which you probably do. You'll get there. Like, it'll be fine, honestly. Like, just rock it. You know, be yourself. Like, that's honestly, I think, the biggest advice you could give is just be yourself. Don't be some, random formal person, because the second you get on the job site and you're not like that, it's like, oh, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Just be you.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, if you need a ego boost because you're like, I don't know, like if you're at the moment where you don't have confidence about your abilities or think that you can get that job, come to Nick and we will give you an ego boost. Okay, give us a brief read through of your resume and we'll be like, damn, you did all that.
We will pump your tires so hard you will be overinflated.
You like that tire metaphor today?
It works.
It does.
It
for
works.
A lot of what we've said. You've only used it twice, but both times brilliant.
It's just money.
At the end of the day, it's just money.
It's all just money. It's all just gravy, baby.
Just gravy, baby. Anyways, I feel like we have some questions of the week, Nick.
I think we do.
Questions?
How are we doing this? Questions?
Questions?
Questions.
Questions!
They are questions of the week.
Thanks for doing that with me, Nick. I'm
glad I could help.
Mm-hmm.
Glad I could help.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to start with yours?
Sure.
The one that you picked out?
Sure, I can do that. All right. Nick and Krysta, what's your guilty pleasure song right now? Like, I mean, I'm assuming by guilty pleasure, it's probably something that you don't necessarily want to tell anybody that you're listening to, kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's the one on the Spotify list that's, hidden so people don't look at your Spotify and be like, really?
For me, I think it's kind of obvious, and it's not like, I just don't like being basic sometimes, but I am. I'm just gonna be honest. It's fine. It's Wildest Dreams, new version, Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, that's boring.
I know it is so boring, but like I opened up my
Swift
Spotify
fan.
while you were asking that question because I honestly wanted to see, and it's last played song, and I'm like, yeah, probably.
Yeah, you're a Taylor Swift fan though. I don't know. It doesn't... Many years ago, I would say Taylor Swift was my guilty pleasure. I wouldn't say that now because everybody knows I'm a fan.
I guess, but I mean, I'm not embarrassed of my music. I just know I don't have good taste. To be honest, One Tree Hill, Peyton, I wanted her music taste. She just seems so cool.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Okay, Nick, hit me with your guilty pleasure. I need to know.
Okay, so see, mine I think is actually weird. I say this, I listen to Taylor Swift, but really, if you look at my thing, Taylor's the only pop music I truly have. Well, there's one song.
You listen to a lot more pop rock.
Yeah, exactly. Like guitars and stuff. Yeah. Anyway. But there's one song that was played on the radio when we were working at Bell. And it didn't come on too often. It was one of those songs that came on every so often. And then, I'd hear it around. I'm like, oh, you know what? That was actually a banger of a song. Then I looked it up. I'm like, oh, shit, this actually is a good song.
What is it? Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Do you know the song Sweet But Psycho by Ava Max?
The name is from the name of the song's familiar, but I can't
sweet, but
think
she's
of a beat.
psycho, a little bit psycho.
Oh.
Yeah, you know that one?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
so that
okay,
song...
Nick, can you put a good clip in?
Yes, I can do that. Yeah, so basically that song is an absolute bop. Bop and a half. I really love that song. So that's probably my guilty pleasure song right now, which Ava Max, Sweet But Psycho.
Yeah, I mean, I think something that you can truly just kind of bop out to is the best.
It's just a fire song. It's just good.
So good. Okay. So the other question is, okay, Nick, I know we kind of picked this question that was asked to us. Do we want to save it for more of a topic, or should we just ask it and answer very quickly?
Can ask it and just answer it.
Okay.
Can always be a topic later.
True. So, funny because it's music related, and this is not planned because it's actually asked.
That's weird.
Why do you... Nick and Krysta, why do you like the music that you like? Yeah.
That is a loaded question, actually. Why do we like the music that we like? Well, so I think a lot of people's answer would be oh, my dad listened to this, so I kind of got into that genre. Or my mom listened to this, so I kind of got into that genre. I'll say my type of music, only one in my family. Even my cousins. Everybody. Nobody likes my taste in music.
Your dad's a musician.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he listens to Rise Against.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I feel like people who are musicians have a little bit more of a unique music taste.
No. He listens to a lot of different music, but that doesn't mean he listens to my music. I remember one time we were on a family trip to Penticton. This was way long ago. And, I was like, oh, we could play my music. And my mom, before I even ended the question, she's like, no.
Your mom does not like your music.
No. Can't stand it. But anyway, I don't know. for me, it hits the ear right. Like these are songs that I like. There are reasons for it. You know, like I think originally why I liked Taylor Swift because I thought she was pretty. You know, you might look on her stuff more, I don't know, more favorable. Lindsey Sterling was somebody like I watched her music videos. That's what made me a fan. And now her music's amazing. You know, like for Rise Against, you know, it was on a Madden video game. And then I heard Prayer of the Refugee on the TV and I bought the album. You know what I mean? Like these are things that you just like for me, how did I get that? I listened to music and it hit my ear right.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to explain it though. It just kind of hits the soul right.
Yeah, you connect with it, you feel it.
Yeah, and I think for me, the reason I like the music I like is that either it makes me very happy. Like, typically there are upbeat songs, and I like to be happy. Yeah. Or I like songs that are very, like, oof. You know, because I can't imagine those emotions, or I have them, and they have the words for them.
They put words to your emotion. That's what music is what feelings sound like.
Beautifully. That was beautiful, Nick. That was so great.
That's a magnet on my fridge.
Okay. One more.
Okay.
Nick and Krysta, you both have talked about being kind of doing fitnessy things. Nick more sportsy, Krysta more at the gym. How do you find motivation to keep doing it?
Oh, great friggin' question.
Oh my god, that makes me feel bad.
Zero no motivation.
I have not been to the gym in a week.
Like, look, I don't go to the gym. I feel like that's a lot more of a commitment than playing sports. Like for me,
how? Okay, hold on. How? You commit to playing soccer. Okay, that's a 2-hour game plus a 1-hour warm-up beforehand. And then during the week, you have a practice that's like an hour and a half. And then getting there and all that. You're committing like 5 hours a week.
Okay, I don't do that anymore.
I know, but you did.
In high school, I
like Mr. Ultimate Frisbee and volleyball all the time this last summer.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it doesn't take commitment. I'm just saying it's a lot easier to get up for something that you love to do, and it's the only time you get to do it. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like it's not like the gym where I'm going to, you know, forcing myself to go lift weights and stuff like that. It's easy. It's easy. Like I get to play Ultimate once a week. Like, I don't know. Like it's just, for me, it's what I want to do. It's a lot easier to do it when you want to do it. I definitely happens to me, and I think we've talked about this before. It happens to me when, you know, I get the feeling I just don't want to go today. That's totally fine. You can feel that. But if you want to get motivation or figure out how to go to the gym or do that sport or whatever, just go. You can always, you know, lift a couple weights, go on the bike, or, you know, play a few points at the field or whatever. Like, unless your number is specific, like team sports related, like if your number depends on the game, you're kind of stuck. But honestly, like say for Ultimate for me, I can go play a couple points and just be like, you know what, not feeling it today, I'm gonna go. Like,
but you're not gonna do that. You're gonna stay. That's the funny part about sports.
That's what I'm saying. Like usually and this is people that I've heard from, you know, like when I get there and play the sports, I feel a ton better. Even if I didn't want to go in the first place, I feel a lot better afterward. And I've heard this from people who go to the gym too. They're like, I didn't want to go, but I got into it, and now I feel 100 times better after the fact. So I guess just in the sense of that is like just go and do it. Worst case, you leave early.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's good advice. Just don't think about it. That's my thing. If you start thinking about how you don't want to go, you're already halfway to losing the battle. So if you don't let yourself think about it, and you just start putting on clothing, you're already doing it.
Yep, you're already halfway there.
Yeah, I mean, I can probably think of some better things another day.
Fair enough.
Anyways. Recommendations of the week.
Recommendations of the week. We recommend things. You do them, see them, watch them, do whatever with them.
Mm-hmm. Can I go first?
be my guest.
Okay, I'm not sure if this is like something I recommended before, but I had an omelet for dinner tonight, and it was just like next level. Like sometimes I forget. Like I'm not saying have breakfast for dinner. I'm saying have an omelet for dinner.
Specifically have an omelet for dinner.
Specifically, and I don't even like eggs.
I was gonna say like omelets kind of suck. Like hot take maybe, but not good.
Oh, dude, you gotta put some bacon in that, some spinach.
I could just eat the bacon.
See, that's the thing, though. I used to think that too. You just have the bacon on the side, have some scrambled eggs, and then have some fruits and veggies.
I don't
like eggs. You put it all in there and mix it up. It makes it better. I swear.
Don't like
Trust
eggs.
me.
I don't like eggs. I'm not gonna eat it.
Okay, you go, Nick.
So there's a recommendation I will not be partaking in, but you guys, everybody can do it.
I will invite you over for dinner one day and make an omelet.
And if it's omelets, I'm out the door going back home.
Oh my god, you would though.
I would. Anyway, my recommendation is there's a mall that's currently like being built. It's like half old mall, half new mall. The old mall's like super uber duper depressing. Like it's like you just feel depressed in the mall. It's weird.
Where?
Brentwood.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like that mall. So like, it's like half the stores are closed. It's disgusting.
Because Brentwood wasn't a real mall to begin with.
It wasn't. But they're building it. It's the new one called the Amazing Brentwood. Like they're redoing it all. Like it's fancy. They actually have actual stores there now. Like it's becoming bigger. It's not quite finished yet. But anyway, so I went with a friend to hit it up just to see what it was like. But they got this thing. It's called the Rec Room. It's like an arcade. Apparently, this is really big in Toronto. And if you're like me and remember Palladium. Krista doesn't know what that is. Krysta doesn't know what that is. That's disappointing. But anyway, it's like an arcade. Like Palladium, I remember, and apparently still exists. Is like a really big, like it's arcade, like every game imaginable. Like when I was a kid and it was at Metrotown, like there were games like like you ride the horses and you got to go faster to win the race.
Wait,
or you kick a soccer ball.
Wasn't it? I thought it was called Play-Dome.
No, that was downtown at BC Place.
What was the one in Maple Ridge? Multiplex.
Sure. Anyway, Rec Room, they got good games. They got all the regular, like the shooting games, the Big Game Hunter, Halo, and then they got skee ball, they got throw
skee ball.
They got all these different types of games, but it's fun to kill an afternoon in the arcade. Argue maybe a little expensive, but like I think $30-ish gets you like 200 credits, and some games cost 4 credits, some games cost 15 credits. Depends what you're doing. But it's a fun way to kill an afternoon. Like I say, like $30, you could do a lot worse. So yeah, it's called the Rec Room. It's at the Amazing Brentwood. You get like one of these fancy little wristbands, and you just go boop, and then you pay your credits, and then you play a game, and you get tokens. Well, you don't get like actual tickets. You get virtual tickets.
Okay, but is it better than Castle Fun Park?
It's different than Castle. Like I'd say the arcade itself is better than Castle Fun Parks, but I mean Castle Fun Park, the fact that you can go mini golfing, batting cage,
carts.
If you're looking for the whole thing, Castle Fun Park. If you're looking for the arcade, Brentwood. Also, it's not in friggin' Abbotsford.
Okay, yes, it does depend on where you live as well.
Yeah, like for me, Brentwood's a hell of a lot closer than Castle Fun Park.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my recommendation. Check the Rec Room if you want some arcade fun. It'd been years since I've been to an arcade, so it was pretty neat.
Ah, that's fun.
Yeah, it's exciting. A nice indoor activity for these fall days ahead of us.
Getting colder out.
Yes, a little bit.
Anyways, this episode's also coming out on Thanksgiving, I believe, if we time everything right.
Oh yeah, Monday would be Thanksgiving Monday. So happy Thanksgiving, listeners.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. You gravy curds. I hope you put gravy on everything.
You have to. You have to. Like, it's Thanksgiving. That's when gravy comes out. This whole podcast is based around gravy. It has nothing to do with gravy anyway.
Oh, yeah. If you don't get a story of Nick and I pouring gravy on something, then it wasn't Thanksgiving.
Yeah, send us all your stuff if you went on Thanksgiving. It'd be funny.
I love it. Okay, talk to you guys later.
We'll be back at it again with more Discontinued Gravy next week.